年経つとあんなに
They are wearing matching swimsuits. There's only so much that a gay girl can take. Seasonal Gay Anime Spotlight of Summer 2024. And in a summer season full of romance anime, it's nice that there's two queer ones to talk about here. Starting with Mao and Hisashi from Twilight Out of Focus. Roommates in high school, Mao and Hisashi have 3 rules in order to get along living together. The first rule is that Mao won't tell anyone that Hisashi is gay and has a boyfriend. And the second is that Hisashi will never think of Mao in that way. And third is that they'll always knock before entering in case one of them is having a private session. This started because earlier in the year, Hisashi, in a daze, mistaking Mao for his boyfriend, almost sexually assaults him. Old tropes really do die hard. But he snaps out of it quickly, the two creating these rules in order to make their living together more comfortable. Mao is part of the second-year film club. Ichikawa has decided to do a BL film for the school festival, which most of the members find to be surprising considering this is an all-boys school, but they're living in the modern age, so they accept it. Ichikawa asks Mao if he can ask Hisashi to be a part of the film. Mao is hesitant at first, thinking it might interfere with their 3 roles as roommates. Ichikawa then goes ahead to ask Hisashi anyway, which he agrees to. During the filming, especially during romantic scenes, Mao finds it hard to watch Hisashi pretend romantic with someone else in front of him, but eventually realizing that it's because he has feelings for Hisashi. And after one night when Hisashi returns to the room with a bruise on his face, saying that he got dumped, Mao can't help but reflect his feelings for him and suddenly confesses to him. Hisashi flashes back to his past relationships, having been preyed upon by his younger stepsister, caught by their mother in the act. Hisashi was blamed for this and eventually pushed away from the family. He was then preyed upon by his middle school teacher, who was the only one that gave Hisashi any kind of kindness. Hisashi, never truly experiencing love for anyone and having no other choice, attached himself to his teacher, beginning a sexual relationship with him. But now in current time, Hisashi doesn't see any love or happiness in this relationship anymore. In fact, when he thinks of love and happiness, he thinks of his dorm room, and especially of Mao. Realizing the abuse he's been forced to face, Hisashi awesomely calls his too old of a boyfriend out on how abusive he is and calling him a pedophile who preyed upon him as a middle schooler. Absolutely love this moment and how the story treated Hisashi's past trauma of assault and abuse from his younger stepsister and middle school teacher with care and sympathy. Back in the present, as Mao and Hisashi make out and start to be more intimate with each other, Mao suddenly pulls away and runs in fear. As we later learn that this is the first time that Mao has fallen in love with someone, his prior knowledge only being learned from TV and movies. So he's not quite sure how to proceed with his feelings for Hisashi. During the filming of a kiss scene for the BL film, Mao realizes that he doesn't like to imagine Hisashi with other boys, tripping on wire and passing out. In the nurse's room, Hisashi helps Mao with his feelings by filming him, helping him to truly confess his feelings for him. Back in their room after a comedic scene with their RA in the hallway, the two have sex together for the first time. And while the scene isn't as explicit as it is in the manga, the scene is composed in a way that's respectable and even a little cinematic. Now with their feelings out in the open with each other, the two are able to finish the BL film, as Mao knows that Hisashi knows that he will love him and only him. With the film overshooting and left to editing, Mao and Hisashi are worried that they might not be able to spend as much time together. Mao is helping the third years with their film, and Hisashi has decided to join the drama club, but they realize that they'll always be able to find time to spend together. I especially love this moment where Mao thinks that Hisashi is calling his ex-boyfriend again, but decides to believe in him and not doubt him, quickly learning that Hisashi is just rehearsing some lines out loud. This moment really made me smile. I was so ready for some annoying misunderstandings to cause stupid drama. But Twilight Out of Focus has good drama with enjoyable characters that go through believable troubles that the anime treats with care and respect. And Mao and Hisashi are just cute together, joking together, cuddling, making love, or just hanging out. It's a joy to watch. I'd say my only negative is that I feel like the progression of their relationship went just a little too fast. Doing a half season's worth of development in only 3 episodes made things go a little too quickly for my liking. But the end of episode 4 implies that the anime will be focusing on other boys at the school and their relationships, with Mao and Hisashi taking more supportive roles now. And it looks like the next couple that will be focused on is Ichikawa and the president of the third year film group. And I'm excited to talk about that and the third couple I heard that we'll be focusing on next time. Next up is an anime that came out of nowhere for me. Motoko, Saki, and Ryuji from Senpai is an Otokonoko, that basically meaning crossdresser in Japanese. First year Saki confesses her feelings for her upperclassman, a fellow girl named Makoto. Turns out that Makoto isn't a girl, but a boy who likes cute things and likes to crossdress. He reveals this to her, but Saki, being the chaotic bisexual she is, has no problem with Makoto actually being a guy. Saki still wants to be with her senpai, swearing that she'll be the first one that he falls in love with, but Makoto tries to keep his distance from her, not wanting people at the school to find her strange for associating with him, since his classmates and teachers treat him differently just because he wears a wig and the girl's uniform. But Saki is a very persistent kohai, later giving Makoto a new handkerchief after getting blood on his. Makoto thinks it's cute, but gets flashbacks of his mother discouraging his likeness for cute things when he was younger. And in a beautiful moment when the handkerchief gets blown away, Saiki gets it back and gives it to him. Makoto sees that Saiki is the only person at the school who sees him for who he is. The two get to grow closer because of it. Saiki treating him like this makes Makoto have a better time at school, though there's this lingering depression on his face as he removes his female clothing after school and dresses in the male clothing before heading home, saying goodbye to this side of himself. There actually is another person at the school that's friendly with Makoto, his childhood friend Ryuji, who's worried that Saiki is just being nice to Makoto as a joke, as this has been a recurring issue in the past. But Saiki discovers a picture of Makoto in Ryuji's notebook, realizing that he has feelings for his friend. And it's shown in a flashback that Ryuji fell for Makoto when they were younger, so it's not just because Makoto started dressing as a girl. Though Ryuji is in absolute denial about his feelings for Makoto. Against his wishes, Ryuji becomes Saiki's master and the three of them spend time together during lunch and after school. After the cliffhanger of the first episode, we get to see Makoto's home life. His father is always out for work, but he gets along well enough with his mother. But there seems to be some unspoken tension in the air, with Makoto needing to act more like a boy around his mother. This is heightened when Saiki comes over to visit as per Ryuji's request. His mother seems ecstatic at the idea that Makoto has a girlfriend, hinting at something that happened when Makoto was in middle school. Makoto telling Saiki later that his mother doesn't know that he cross-dresses at school, not wanting to hurt her for unknown reasons. Also during the scene when Ryuji arrives and the three set off fireworks together, I have to say that I love these three kids to death. I would literally murder for them. I also love the shenanigans they have at the public pool. Makoto having a great time with his friends, Saiki being an adorable little gremlin, and Ryuji being a poor closeted gay boy. With the school dance coming up and seeing how Makoto missed it the previous year, Saiki and Ryuji take Makoto out shopping for a dress. In a moment that I really related to, Makoto dresses as a girl outside of school for the first time. An older man tries to pick him up, but Makoto only focuses on the fact that the man saw him as a girl and thought that he was cute. But anyway, the three go shopping together as Makoto gets to try on and purchase a dress, remembering when he was younger and staring at dresses in the display window, happy that he can finally wear one. He even gets to wear high heels, something that he's always wanted to do. Makoto feels like this is the happiest he's felt in a long time. But back at home, Makoto's mother comes across the pink handkerchief that Saki had given him, confronting Makoto with it when he returns home. Turns out that Makoto's mother noticed her son's likeness for cute and girly things, always trying to persuade him into liking other, more manly things. Makoto kept cute things he collected in secret, but his mom finds out and walks in on Makoto trying on a skirt, pushing her son away and secluding herself in her room. Makoto's father, a better parent but still seems to be absent most of the time, comforts Makoto but asks if he wants to be a girl. Makoto replies that he doesn't know. His father discovers a school that will allow him to dress as a girl, but asks that he keeps it from his mother in order for her to regain her senses. Back in the present, Makoto manages to convince his mother that he was just borrowing the handkerchief from Saki and forgot to give it back. Internally, he decides to stop cross-dressing and give up cute things altogether to not worry his mother anymore. Everyone at school is surprised to see Makoto dressed as a boy, Saiki and Ryuji being surprised the most. Ryuji decides to support his friend in whatever he chooses, hoping that this will stop his feelings towards him. But Saiki can sniff out the bullshit, knowing that this isn't the real Makoto. This isn't the person that she's confessed it to and has had fun with. The ironic and sad thing is that now that Makoto is dressing normal, everyone at school is now friendly with him. Girls blush around him, boys are more active with him in basketball club, and teachers call on him more in class. In order to be more normal, Makoto decides to ask Saiki to be his girlfriend, but this causes Saiki to cry, knowing that her senpai is still lying to her and himself, running away. Before the dance, Makoto is asked out by a fellow classmate, a girl with no eyes, Makoto agreeing. But in sadness, he throws away all of his cute stuff, his female uniform and the high heels. It's a very emotional scene, especially when he rips up the cute dress. While Ryuji and Saiki enjoyed their time together at the dance, I love their little friendship, Makoto is distracted while with his date, especially when he sees that she's wearing a wig. After much internal dialogue, Makoto realizes that this normalcy is weird to him. Cross-dressing and loving cute things feels more normal to him. Borrowing his date's wig to apologize to Saiki, he comments that him wearing the wig but sticking with the suit looks weird, but he smiles anyway. Outside, Saiki spots Makoto's high heels being taken away and rushes after them, Makoto following behind. When he catches up to her, he shouts out and proclaims that he loves cute things and dressing like a girl. It's normal to him. He tells Saiki that he doesn't want to give up on his true self, jumping down to her in a shot that mirrors the one from the first episode. Saiki happy that her senpai that she adores is back to his true self. She even managed to save the high heels, Makoto putting them on. Wanting to complete the look, Saiki suggests that they swap clothes, and they dance together happily in a moment that had me tearing up. Makoto and Saiki grow closer because of this, and Makoto's school life still stays in the positive. Now because he's more open and confident in himself, he still remains friends with his classmates. He even becomes friends with the girl who asked him out, and she gets to have eyes now. With Makoto's internal conflict concluded, his external one is being more open to his mother, the anime now seems to be focusing more on Ryuji and Saiki. Ryuji being jealous that more people are around Makoto, meaning that he won't be the only one by his side. He hasn't figured out his feelings because he doesn't want to ruin the friendship that they have, even with his younger sister encouraging him on. Saiki, meanwhile, seems to have some past trauma that we don't know about yet, confused why her heart doesn't beat when around the senpai that she's trying to love. Wow, I did not mean to talk this long about only 4 episodes, but I really adore this anime so far. I identify so much with Makoto and his struggles with his gender identity and love of cute things. Societal norms and the world around him tell him that as a boy he's meant to like masculine things and always act more like a man. This definitely troubling his mother the most. But thanks to Saiki loving this side of him, his true self, he's able to love himself as well. Boys should be able to dress in girls' clothes and like cute things. There's nothing wrong with that. It's unknown how Makoto identifies himself, just as a cross-dressing boy, as a trans girl, or something else. Makoto himself is not sure yet, but he's young. He's got plenty of time to figure these things out as he grows, and I'm excited to follow that journey alongside him. Saiki is my everything with her chaotic bisexual energy, and Ryuji is my poor closeted gay son. I really hope that by the end, everyone can find the happy ending that they deserve. And lastly, let's quickly talk about Live from Mayonaka Punch. A vampire who's been sleeping for the past 20 years, Live has a dream about a naked woman who offers her blood to her. Live awakens and thanks to Ichiko catching her up on the past 20 years, sees a video featuring that naked woman from her dreams. This is Misaki, a young woman who had a falling out with her old video podcast group after she punched one of them on live stream. Twice. In order to branch out on her own and being very drunk, she does a video in an abandoned hospital, where Live just happens to be looking for leftover blood. Recognizing Misaki from her dreams, Live chases after her, but the shenanigans calm down when Live saves Misaki from falling off the building. Still very drunk, Misaki makes Live a deal. If she can take videos of Live and her friends and help her get a new channel to 1 million subscribers before her old partners, she will let Live suck her blood dry. Good on Live though, when Misaki is sober, she makes sure that the deal is still on and gets her full consent. So as the group tries to make videos under the watchful eye of Yuki, we learn more about Misaki's reason for doing all of this. The thing that she misses the most about her old group was the connections she made. She feels alone now and all the negative comments she's been getting is making her depressed. But when Live comes to her place to comfort her, Misaki sees that she'll be able to make new connections in this group of vampires. She doesn't have to be alone with these negative thoughts anymore. And in a nice gesture, Misaki allows Live to enter her place, fully opening herself up to her and the others. On Live's side, while she still wants to suck Misaki's blood and probably other things, let's be honest, wants to make her happy, showing that a true relationship could possibly form between the two later down the road outside of the deal that they made, even if Misaki feels the need to use her body in order to make Live do what she wants. So it will have to be seen by the end of the series if the group can get to 1 million subscribers and what that will mean for Misaki and Live's relationship after their deal is complete, and Live sucks Misaki's blood. Tune in next time to find out. Now it's time to talk about the queer characters of the previous spring season, and we'll start with the Yuri anime troubled with production issues, whispering you a love song. Where we last left off, Yuri had told Himari that she likes her and wants the two of them to be girlfriends, but Himari doesn't know how to respond as she sees love differently and doesn't know if Yuri is the same as hers. Yuri's friend Aki is in love with Yuri, but keeps it a secret in order to stay by her side. Himari joins the cooking club and befriends Momoka and later her friend Shiho. Yuri gets jealous of Himari getting close to another girl, but even admits to herself that this feeling is selfish, but it's something that she can't help. Aki takes notice of this and confronts Himari, telling her that she's in love with Yuri and will take her if Himari continues to be undecided and toy with Yuri's heart. Later on, being jealous of Momoka again, Yuri asks Himari to give her an answer after the band's performance during the music club concert. Himari agrees, and the two go on a cute shopping trip for the concert. The day of the concert arrives, and Himari hears the song Yuri wrote for her in an unfortunately poorly animated scene. But in the end, Himari comes to the realization that she does love Yuri the same way, and the two officially become girlfriends. But all is not happy in paradise, as the girls have to audition against a rival band consisting of Shiho, revealed to be the one who left the band and Yuri replaced, Momoka, and a third bandmate named Hajime. Shiho is immediately aggressive to Aki and Yuri, Aki explaining what happened in the past. Shiho was previously kicked out of multiple bands, and Aki invited her to join theirs, but Shiho quits after getting in a fight with Aki, blaming her for not taking the band seriously. Though it's also heavily implied that Shiho has feelings for Aki. While Aki's band's performance goes well enough during the audition, Shiho's band performance is easily the crowd favorite, even if it's once again poorly animated. Wanting to mess with her more, Shiho tells Aki that she knows of her crush on Yuri. Aki confronts this by making a challenge. If the band can get more votes at the cultural festival, Shiho has to reveal the real reason that she quit the band. Meanwhile, Himari finds herself conflicted as she's friendly with both bands and hates to see them all fighting. Himari comes across Shiho at her job and Shiho tells her a bit about her past. When she was younger and played the violin, she befriended another violinist named Kyo, but she became depressed after losing to her at a competition, this especially hurting as she was always told by others that she was the best. Overwhelmed with jealousy, Shiho breaks things off with Kyo and eventually stops playing the violin altogether. Though one of Shiho's character traits is stubbornness, so she picks up the guitar to surpass Kyo that way. Innocently wanting the two bands to get along, Himari gets everyone to meet at the cooking club to try the sweets that she made with Momoka. This backfires, however, where upon realizing that Yuri and Himari are dating, Shiho adds a condition to the challenge, and that is that Himari will become her band's manager until the day of the festival. Blaming herself for relations between Shiho and Aki getting worse, Himari agrees to these conditions, with Shiho saying that she'll grant any request of hers if they win. As Yuri, Aki, and the others figure out how to win to get Himari back, Shiho and her band tells Himari about how the three of them formed despite all coming from different places. Turns out that it all connects back to Kyo, as Hajime was her sister and Momoka was her girlfriend. I say was because Kyo passed away, Hajime reconnecting with Shiho. As the months go on, Shiho continuously visits Kyo's grave, this coming to a head after she left Aki's band. She runs into Hajime and Momoka here, with Momoka begging Shiho not to quit the band, as Kyo loved her music. So to answer Momoka's pleas and to honor Kyo's wishes, Shiho suggests that the three of them form their own band. Later on, while on a date with Yuri, Himari tells her about this, the two of them confused on how some of the details from Aki and Shiho's separate stories don't line up. Yuri being even more confused about why Shiho dislikes her specifically when the two have barely interacted before. Himari questions Shiho about this as she reveals that she doesn't like Yuri because the person she's in love with only has desires for Yuri. Remembering what Aki said to her back in episode 4, Himari is able to put all the pieces together, Shiho running away as she realizes that Himari has figured it all out. Through flashback, we see Shiho falling for Aki when she asks to join her band, the two growing closer with Shiho gaining the courage to tell Aki how she feels. But when seeing Aki's secret desire for Yuri, Shiho becomes discouraged, which all eventually comes to a head when Shiho leaves the band. All of the pieces of Shiho's backstory has been put together as the 10th episode ends with both bands preparing for the cultural festival. And now for the elephant in the room, the trouble production of the anime. Initially planned for a winter release, the original director had to step down due to health issues, causing the anime to be delayed to the spring season. Lots of other production issues hit the anime, probably the usual bunch that we've come to expect now, unfortunately. And while this was shown quickly in the animation quality, it didn't hit the release schedule until episode 8, that was delayed by a few hours, and episodes 9 and 10 being delayed to 3 weeks, and the release of the last 2 episodes being put on an indefinite hiatus. All this really did hurt the viewing experience of the anime, which is a shame because I like these characters and this story. It's nothing mind-blowing or new, but it's cute Yuri fluff with just a tiny bit of drama that I always enjoy. In the end though, reading the original manga is the way to go. If you're still in the mood for an anime though with a girl band, watch Bocchi the Rock. If you want a band anime with queer characters, try Given. But as for Whispering You a Love Song, I'll be back to talk about the conclusion of the stories and characters whenever the last 2 episodes get released. And lastly is Wagon and Kazuhiko from Tonari no Yokai. In an alternate world where yokai and other magical beings and spirits inhabit the world like regular humans, animals, and even inanimate objects have the possibilities to be reborn after they pass on, if they were loved from the people around them. This is shown the most from one of the main characters, Buchio, but our main focus will be on Wagon. As soon as I saw these two in the ending theme, my gaydar immediately went off. Yes, even though one of their heads was a car. When Buchio decides to get his driver's license, he meets Wagon, who tells him about his previous owner Kazuhiko. The relationship between Kazuhiko and Wagon isn't ever explicitly said, the two of them just refer to each other as partners. In a flashback when we learn about Kazuhiko's late wife, we see Kazuhiko breaking up with a male yokai, so he's definitely queer. So there's the possibility of his relationship with Wagon being like that, even if it's just domestically like some of the other human and yokai pairs that we see in the anime. In this flashback, we learn that Wagon was able to come to life because Kazuhiko's late wife, Namiko, before passing away from a genetic disease, asked Wagon to take care of her husband so he wouldn't be lonely anymore. the three of them sharing a familiar bond, even when Wagon was just a car. It's just how this world works. As Buchio struggles with the idea that he'll outlast his family, Kazuhiko and Wagon get in a fight about this. While Kazuhiko tells Wagon that he hopes Wagon will be able to find happiness when he passes, Wagon wishes that Kazuhiko would not worry about that and just focus on the time that they have left. The two being able to reconcile as Bocchi learns to accept this as well. During the final 2 episodes of the anime, Wagon takes Buchio and his little brother to Tokyo, but the boundary of the world breaks, which has been foreshadowed throughout the show, causing Oni to emerge, attacking everyone. Wagon is able to help get them to safety while Kazuhiko tries to escape from the Oni back at home. The breaking of the boundary causes the world's spiritual energy to disappear, causing yokai like Jiro to vanish, animals reborn like Buchio to revert and die, and ones like Wagon to return to their original state. And not me yelling at my screen be like, "No, Wagon, you can't go, your maybe sort of husband needs you." Thankfully though, in a way that I don't fully understand, 3 of our kid characters are able to bring back the spiritual energy, resurrecting everyone, including Wagon who returns to Kazuhiko. Tonari no Yokai is the type of anime with a soft and gentle exterior, but then also contains an interior that will stab you in the back with all the fears that it can throw at you. But it gave us the unique queer couple of Kazuhiko and Wagon, so I appreciate that in the end. So, what did we learn from today's episode? We learned that lesbian vampires are a surefire way to get hits on YouTube. Bisexual triangles are so much fun to watch. Making a BL film can always bring out the gay in you. Even cars can be lifelong partners with you. Anime productions need to be handled with more care in order to prevent delays, and more importantly, make things easier for the animators. And now, a moment of silence for those upset that I didn't talk about jellyfish can't swim at night.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?